It's the NFL on EA Sports,
where we'll see which conference reigns supreme tonight. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders.
Coming up next.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. And able to get this out to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
To the air goes Daniels.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Samuel in motion. Daniels looking to throw.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
This is taken at the 23. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Flowers going to go in motion right.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep.
And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Jackson from the shotgun.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He's to the 15.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
64 yards.
And the Ravens put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2.
And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
Up past the 30, second down coming up. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for 1st and 10.
Here's Daniels.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. but give him credit. He tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Now Daniels. He's into space past the 25.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 14. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Debo going in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
This will be caught just inside the 10.
And the Commanders are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left.
Robinson. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1.
Robinson. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gay knocks this one through.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A throw out wide, caught by Hopkins. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. 3rd and 2 as they've got it as we resume action. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play. But it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it. And 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. Escaping the pressure right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gain of 39 that time. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw.
John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things, but even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Samuel in motion. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
3rd down and 6. Throwing now is Daniels.
And that will be incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Gay's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Being chased out left. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
Hopkins, the man in motion right. Play action. Now Jackson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 16 yards on that one, and a Raven first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson.
Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again.
They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second down and 6 now. Flowers going to go in motion right.
Throwing is Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 25-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Now it's Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They keep it with Henry on first down. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. One of the best of the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner, in to bring him down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
And they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
Jackson. It's complete to Hopkins.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh sent on the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And running with power here.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense.
Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, 69 yards.
And the Commanders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this one's right there, and that pushes the lead to 13-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Hill shedding the tackle. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson now. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From midfield now, here's Jackson. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The two big plays right in succession as this one goes for 27.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Open man, that's Henry. And they'll get this down to the 10. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Again, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
And his kick is good. And that's going to tie us at 13. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it. And that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
So still a little bit of time following the made field goal, but we are tied as the kick's away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
A final shot before break. Daniels. And his throw here's incomplete. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Ravens offense and Derrick Henry set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us. Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's 3rd and 6. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. To throw is Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the option, here's Henry. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Dorrance Armstrong in on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Jackson. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
And his kick is absolutely perfect, and they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Here's Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Second down and 8. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Now Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. We'll get this up to about the 44.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6. To the air goes Daniels. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Robinson up the middle. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
10 more there and another first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. On the give, here's Robinson.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Throwing now is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Daniels looking to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. John Bates from 6 yards away. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So a very strong first drive in this second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Gay is on for the point after. And that will make this a 4-point game. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They go play action with Jackson. He dumps it off. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired.
on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 3.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Jackson. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
That's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down, but they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here.
Henry diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
To throw is Daniels.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and comfortably so.
Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Daniels.
Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 3 from the 9. Handoff now to Robinson.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This is caught. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. This one no doubt important for Matt Gay. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gay knocks this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Baltimore Raven offense returns, and we see wide receiver Rashad Bateman bringing him out.
They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They set up the screen to Hill. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now it's Jackson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Jackson. Going right back to DeAndre Hopkins.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 49 yards.
And the Ravens have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Now the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw.
Finding Samuel.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Here comes 2nd down.
They'll look to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. He'll look to throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it. And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon.
Here comes 2nd down at 5.
He's back to throw.
That one caught by the tight end Bates.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Throwing now is Daniels.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Daniels. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
This defense not going to lag back. They come with pressure that time, force him out of the pocket, and the incompletion.
And so many times when you're watching a game, you're seeing the offense doing all the dictating. In this case, the defense said, we're dictating the terms, and turned it loose towards him.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.